And I'm gonna have to get out and move the pickup because it is all up in the way. Alright, we are on the Minnesota farm. North Dakota is still, the weather's not exactly great over there at this moment, so we are starting off in Minnesota. It's 43 degrees, so a little bit nicer weather. We are gonna try to get some tillage going. We're gonna try to get our corn ground dug up so we can get corn in the ground and get that going. And then we'll work on getting some beans in the ground. Got the 9470 with this Salford. So we're going to see how well this tractor pulls this thing. It's a little underpowered for it, but I think it'll do fine. Alright, so we have the GPS all set up. We're going to work from the road to the tree line back there. Going to be longer rounds here versus, a bunch of shorter ones, so... We are at 7 miles an hour, is about as fast as we can pull this thing with this tractor. Like I said, it's underpowered for this thing. We do have a 9570, so we have another tractor that's 100 more horse over this one. We're gonna get the second one out, and then we're gonna see if 100 horse, if we can pull this, how much faster we can pull with 100 extra. I'm not expecting probably more than 9, but we'll see. Okay, so can confirm the 9570 definitely pulls a lot faster and harder than that 9470 does. Like, it's dragging this thing like a rag doll at 12 miles an hour. So that's 5 miles an hour different. That's a pretty big difference. We may have to go get the 8RX, the big frame 8RX, and put it on that other Salford and let it pull it, and then put the 9470 on a planter. We may have to do that because I don't think I can get down with one of the tractors can only pull this thing at 7. Like, that's, it's already sprinkling on us, so time is everything in the spring. So that's 5 miles an hour. That's a lot. So I think we're gonna put the 8RX on the other Salford and we're gonna see what happens. All right, so we're gonna set it down right here, I guess. And then we'll put the 8RX on that and we'll see what it can do. I would like to hope that this 8RX is going to be able to pull this better. I mean, this is a 9470, so 30 gets you to 500, so 70 more horsepower with this 8R. So I have, if we could pull at least 9 to 10, I think I'd be satisfied if we can just do 9 or 10. You'll notice, if you watched the last video, you've been following along, we ended up actually switching this winter. We ended up switching the tracks. So we took those big monstrous wide ones off and we put, I believe these are 24 inch, maybe 24 on the back and maybe 18 on the front, I think. They're either that or possibly 30 on the back and 24 on the front. That sounds more correct, I think. Because I don't think they're actually... They might. No, I think the back ones are just a tad wider. But yeah, we ended up getting rid of the big monstrous tracks because I wasn't really a fan. We should probably set the GPS up here because I didn't do that. So we will go... I have it on 90. Alright, so it's loaded in. Let's set it down. And then we'll put it on the course here. Okay, so, yep, even this thing can pull this at 12 miles an hour too. Which, I mean, that 9570 only has 30 more horse over this tractor, so... Alright, so it looks like we're going to have the 8RX pull one of these, and then we're going to have the other 9R pull the other one. So there's a pretty cool shot, both tractors. Pretty good setup, in my opinion. These are 50, no, these are 60 footers. So that's 120 foot per round when you add the two together. So it won't really take long to knock out, fields like this. Alright, so we're going to stop, park this tractor right here. I'm going to go take the other 9RT we just pulled off, put it on a planter, and we're going to get the other ARX set up for the other planter. So we're going to get some planters hooked up here and basically just hook them up and get them on standby ready to hit the field. We're going to be waiting probably another 2 weeks or so before we can get the planters in the field, because you can't plant corn when it's too cold or else it's not going to grow. Like, you're looking for optimal soil temperature to be able to put corn in the ground. So a little too cold still, so we're going to end up be waiting a little bit, but we are going to get the other tractors hooked up so we are ready to go when we can get them in the fields. It's also going to be a little bit weird. I don't think I've ever really had a 9RT on a planter. It doesn't happen a whole lot, because usually an 8RT or 8RX gets put on a planter for me. The biggest I think I've ever put on a planter is like maybe like a quad track, but those are quad tracks. And then, oh, I went up the wrong driveway. Whoops. I know I've used 9420Rs with skinny tires before. Those actually are pretty decent planting tractors, but never really used a 9RT for a planter tractor, so gonna be something different this spring. And I'm gonna have to get out and move the pickup because it is all up in the way. I don't know who parked that in the way. The seed tender may also have to move as well. Alright, so we have both planters hooked up, sitting outside. I'm not gonna lie, the 9RT actually looks pretty good with the planter behind it. So these are, I don't know if I brought it up in the last video, these are Wilrich, I believe these are Wilrich planters. They got the Infinity Ag on them. We have a 9-foot auger. We also have 6,000 globes on these. What are these? Yeah, 6,000 receiver globes on one. Yeah, both of them have the globes. These are pretty nice looking planter. They have all the hoses. They're really detailed. Like, this is probably one of the more Yetter row cleaners. Like, this is probably one of the more detailed planters probably in this game, and that's ever come about. On tracks, so they're really nice. I don't know what the track on that one's doing. It's all perked up in the air for some reason. So I've played a little bit with these planters, not a lot of it. They're 36 row, 30-inch spacing, I think. I don't think these are 22s. I think these are 30s, I think. So never really played with these planters too much, just a little bit. But I'm excited to use these things. I think we're gonna have to stop here for a minute because it's starting to rain a little too hard for my liking. So I think we're gonna end up getting to the edge of the field over here, and then we're just gonna stop and wait for the rain to stop and it maybe dry out a little bit because it's getting a little too wet. So we've actually decided to come over to North Dakota. It's actually not raining over here. The sun is actually out. It's just cold. Very cold. So we're going to try to hook up the accelerators here. We're going to get them hooked up and maybe hook the planters up. So the 530s are going to pull the accelerators, and then the road tracks are going to pull the planters. So we got a 24-row John Deere and we have a 36-row Case. So a little bit different over here. We have two different planters, two different sizes, whereas over in Minnesota we have two 36 rows. So we're going to dig the accelerators out of the trees here. I have no idea what is causing these. Basically everything over here is like sliding around, it seems like, and I don't understand why. If it's one mod making them all do it, or I don't know, it's just very awkward, or if it's the game itself, but they seem to have slid into the trees, so we're going to have to dig them out of the trees. So a decision has been made. Because it is very nice weather, we're actually going to try to get the quad tracks in the field and start digging some dirt here in North Dakota. It's just really cold is really the only issue, which for turning dirt, not really an issue, but as far as planting goes, yeah, that's an issue. But I think we're going to try to send it and get them in the fields. Alright, so we're going to unfold. We are at this is leased ground, so we don't actually own this ground. It's a lease, rented ground, whatever you want to call it. We're leasing this field, and we're also leasing this other side as well, and there's like a little waterway, grass strip that breaks them up. I don't really know why they haven't just kind of dug this up and made it one field, but it is what it is. So we are going to be farming both of these. I've never actually farmed down at this end of the map or this corner, so this should be just as interesting for me as it is you guys as well. Okay, so I have the left side of the field all done, and we are on to the second half of this, I guess. It's actually going pretty well. I don't know why these tractors sink into the ground so bad like that. It's only these ones. The John Deeres won't do it, and the other cases we have won't do it. So I don't know, it's very awkward that they sink in as far as they do. So we got the second quad track working over by the farm. He's working up one of the bean fields from last year, so we're trying to get all the corn ground ready to go. That's our biggest focus here in both states, is get the corn ground ready, so then we can move in with the planters as soon as we can do it. So I am done with I think it's about 70 to 80 acres down here actually. Doesn't look like it, but it is, so I am done. I'm going to take my tractor back to the farm and probably just park it. And then we'll honestly probably take that other tractor and park it as well. And then we'll probably run back over to Minnesota and see if the rain's let up and see what we're looking like over there. And then we'll determine if we can go find some dry ground over there and keep working. Because I really want to get Minnesota. I want Minnesota to be ahead of North Dakota, I think, as far as like field work wise. So we're going to head back over there and see if we can maybe just move around a little bit and see if we can find some dry ground. Alright, and we're back on Minnesota. The rain has let up. The sun has actually come back out. I mean, it was a little kind of a really aggressive pop-up shower that happened, and it did stop us for just a little bit, but we're back. I am using the 8RX, and we got the helper across the street working on that field, so we got both Salford running. I don't really know how much we're gonna try to. We may just try to knock out all the corn ground at once and roll the dice. I mean, it could be a month before we are able to get back in the fields with the planters. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's gonna be our plan. We have a wheat field across the street here. We have that one, and then we have one down the road. Don't know how many acres of wheat we have because we ended up acquiring it. So we're gonna have us a nice wheat harvest come June, July, probably more July. We may actually try to get a baler. We may actually try to bale some of the straw. We'll see though if it's worth our time and effort to do that. So it looks like our hired guy here is making solid progress. Looks like he's got about 2, 3, 4 passes maybe. Looks like he's got a half on the end there. And then he will be done with this. So we'll have the field behind the bins and then beside them, I guess you'd say. We'll have 2 fields dug up, and then I believe we have 2 more fields that are going to corn. So we're gonna have corn, wheat, 2 fields of wheat, and then I don't know if we're gonna grow soybeans or we're gonna grow kidney beans. I'm not sure what we're gonna grow bean wise. Definitely doing a field of soybeans. We may end up doing some kidney beans, trying some experimenting a little bit with that. we'll have to see when the time comes. But yeah, our boy here is making solid progress on this field, so we should be done pretty soon. Alright, so that's probably going to be it for the video. I know this was kind of just like a soft start to the spring, but next video we will have the planters in the field. We'll probably have the rest of the tillage going, so we're going to have the full 9 yards probably next video. We'll probably even have the sprayer out working as well. But I thank you guys so much for watching. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, definitely hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one.